all we have found out about Assetto Corsa Evo and many other news right here, right now. This video is dedicated to Julian, free after 14 years of state-sponsored lies and torture. Greetings Romy, you're watching Rum, the channel sharing the joy of sim racing and a regular news roundup are mostly weekly sim racing news. Thanks to all those who come here often, especially those who subscribe, and even more, our patrons. My name is Serta and I will be your host for this video. Long time no see, right? This June was a slow month for sim racing. See what I did there? But we have not been idle. Not only did we at last finish testing the LC100 Camus pedals, we're in the middle of testing something else. We're starting preparations for the Sim Racing Expo, and next week Saturday we'll have a very special guest for our podcast, which you will all see and hear the Thursday after that. We will be talking to Mr. about the world of Sims, their newest sim, and the plans for the future. Wait, what happened there? Am I not allowed to say Mr. Hello? Really? Oh well, you'll know more next week. After releasing Season 3 2024, you know what follows. Of course, a patch. On Monday the 10th, Season 3 saw a patch with some changes in the windshield condensation, the correction of some issues with the pace car in Rallycross, and we want to know what Fred did in 2017. Drivetrain torques are now capped to avoid issues with the physics once they go into unrealistic values. On the graphic side, some track surfaces were too shiny, which has been corrected. iRacing setups have been corrected in tons of cars. Get it? Tons, cars, ha! Side skirts in NASCAR tracks cannot be repaired anymore, and a lot of other very specific corrections have been made. See the link in the description for the detailed list. Also, some of the tracks saw slight correction, and Barney can now be found also in Jerez, Navarra and Sachsenring. Le Mans Ultimate got a small patch improving the HUD with regards to out-of-position information during the formation and pace laps, and information about any penalties because of being out of position. In that vein, the messages telling you where you need to be to not get a penalty have been updated and corrected. Race Room had a small all-free weekend last week to let you decide what content you want to pay them for in their summer sale, which is still ongoing. Speaking of summer sales, of course, the Steam Summer Sale is ongoing. As always, a good opportunity to get Sims at a more affordable price, and as always, a recommendation to get Assetto Corsa Ultimate. Unluckily, this year it's double as much as it has normally cost, clocking at over €16 USD. Still worth it in my not humble opinion. Automobilista 2 is down 50%, while Automobilista 2 with all the DLCs is down 58%, still clocking at €70 USD. Again, in our opinion, still worth it, but that's something you'll have to discuss with your wallet. Low Fuel Motorsport at last had to bite the bullet and concede people want to race against each other using Automobilista 2, so they've started a beta test together with Reza to be able to offer what Just Race and Racecraft Online have been offering for years. Surprisingly, or on second thought, not so surprisingly, International Football Association FIFA, soccer for our viewers in the US of A, has partnered with Rocket League to set up an esports World Cup. FIFA being allegedly the most corrupt organization in the world, we wonder how much money landed in secret accounts to make that happen. Fanatec will sell a limited edition of 100 Club Sport Wheel Rim GT3 Endurance Spa 24 hours during the, you guessed it, 24 hours of Spa WEC race for €130 USD. And here I stand having no idea if this is a good idea or a bad one. If you can't make it to Spa, don't worry, a non-limited version called Club Sport Wheel Rim GT3 Endurance will appear soon on their website. Today is the last day you can buy the limited edition anyway. Of course, the big news this week is the official announcement you can wishlist Assetto Corsa Evo from now on Steam. With the announcement, Kunos also delivered some more information about what AC Evo will bring and we can enjoy. We'll be offering as much information over the next weeks and months as we can get our hands on, and you know we search any nook and cranny for the truffles, so be sure to subscribe, become part of the family, and help us reach the 10,000 subscribers. So close, so close. They talk about VR and 3 monitor support, they talk about road cars, classic, hypercars, prototypes and racing cars, as well as dynamic weather conditions. In the screenshots, we see the Alfa Romeo Giulia, the Giulia Sprint A, an Alpine A110, Alpine 129 Beta, a Mercedes, possibly the 190, a Lamborghini Huracan, a Hyundai i20, as well as the 1991 Porsche 911 992 and the Porsche 911 930 Turbo with inside and outside images. We also see wet and damp tracks. Yes, the Notchlife is there. First batch of Shut Up and Take My Money sim racers already in the back, as well as Ebola is there. Coming back to VR, the support of VR will be there from day one, according to Marco Mazzarutto, Kunos boss. In fact, he quotes VR as one of the more important reasons to not use the Unreal Engine for ACE, as that engine is, let's say, not the best suited one to develop for VR support. We notice they don't talk about a 24-hour cycle or real weather, but the information for now is more than sparse, or maybe they are planned, maybe they aren't. I mean, there's a screenshot on the night, so that's a strong clue. I mean, these things are already in ACC, why shouldn't they be in ACE? So, hopefully driver swaps too? Kunos dropped an abundance of screenshots, but no in-game footage. So, while they are nice to watch, they may be renders that can never be reached in-game. Bear that in mind. That said, they look gorgeous, even if we suppose you need a climate supercomputer to render them, and will have to send your potato computer to the nice farm where all old computers frolic and spend their last days. Speaking about that, it seems that GTX 1070 or RX 580 will be enough to at least render a bit of ACE, but they recommend you have at least a GPU in the RTX 2070 or Radeon RX 5600 level. Interestingly enough, they note that an SSD is required, so Assetto Corsa Evo seemingly will load up a lot of its information from the drive. As far as our information goes, when it drops, Assetto Corsa Evo will be an early release like was the case with the original Assetto Corsa and Assetto Corsa Competizione. It's possible not all content and features will be there. Remember that VR came later into Assetto Corsa Competizione than the first version. And we can neither confirm nor deny mod support, as Kunos have not said a word about that. While they would be shooting themselves in the foot if they would not offer mod support, especially with the uncountable number of AC mods, we know there's enough problems that arise when you offer mod support. So we will have to wait and see. Another thing we can't neither confirm nor deny is multiplayer support. But it's 2024. Releasing a sim without it is akin to financial suicide. Another thing we cannot confirm nor deny is if Assetto Corsa Evo will appear on consoles. However, considering that according to Kunos' own Marco Mazzarutto, Assetto Corsa has sold 12 million copies until now, and 40% of those 12 million have been sold on consoles, and that they are still producing DLCs for Assetto Corsa Competizione on consoles, we'd be very surprised if Kunos is not already working either with Untold Games or another company to bring ACE to consoles. Also, we have heard Marco himself talk about ports for PS5 and Xbox of this, their newest sim. You can wishlist ACE by following the link in our description.